Hey, welcome back to your favorite technical mathematics class. We're going to look at division of algebraic expressions. And let's remind you about the rules, first of all, for product rule, power rule, power of a product, and so on, power of a quotient, quotient rule, definition of zero exponent, negative definition of the negative exponent, definition of a negative exponent when the negative exponent's in the denominator there. Okay. So let's start working with some of these examples. So when you're dividing monomials, so you've got 3xy over a, oops, that's an ax. When you've got a monomial, so one term on the top, one term on the bottom, so everything's being multiplied on the top, 3 times x times y, everything's being multiplied on the bottom, you can just you just cancel those out, right? It's kind of like, x over x is 1. It's kind of like, 3 out of 3 is 1, right? If you've got a pie cut into 3 pieces and you ate 3 of the 3 pieces, 3/3, you've eaten 1 whole pie, right? So you can just cancel that, that's 1. So we're left with just 3y over a. And so that's how I want you to go about, or that's one way to go about dividing your monomials here. The next one, number 2, we've got 10ab over 10a. Again, 10 over 10 is 1, a over a is 1. So you're just left with a b on the top, b over 1. Next one, you've got x over ax. Again, the x's cancel. And what's in front of the x? What's the coefficient there? That's a 1 right there. So you got to write that at the end as 1 over a. You got to leave that numerator up. You got to leave something up there for the numerator. It's not a 0 at the top because 0 divided by anything is 0. So you got to leave that 1 up there. Number 4, negative 16 a squared b over 4a. So you go ahead and you take the negative 16 a squared b, and let's think about that. Negative 16 divided by 4 is a negative 4, but if you want, you can write it like this: negative 4 times 4, and you can expand the a squared, a times a, you get the b, and you get the 4 times the a, and notice that the 4's cancel, the a's, one of those a's cancels, so you're just left with a negative 4, a and a b on the top there. Next one, negative 20x cubed y cubed z cubed over negative 4x squared y z to the 5th. Well, negative 20 over negative 4, negative over negative is positive, so that's going to leave us with a 5 on the top there. X cubed over x squared, well, that's 3 x's on the top, 2 x's on the bottom. That just leaves us with one of these x's on the top. Next one, I got y to the 3rd over y. I got 3 y's on the top, 1 on the bottom. That leaves us with 2 y's there on the top. And then the third one, we got z cubed over z to the 5th. So 3 of those z's cancels and leaves us with 2 z's on the bottom. So this ends up being 5xy squared. The only thing on the bottom is z squared. Okay. Last one there, negative 18x cubed y divided by negative 12xy to the 4th. Well, first of all, negative 18 over negative 12. Negative over negative is positive. 18 over 12, if you want, again, you can write those as factors. So I'm going to go back to writing them all out. Bottom, I got 6 times 2 is 12. I got x, y, 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 y. So 6's cancel. X's cancel, and then one of the y's cancels. So it looks like we're left with 3x squared on the top, and on the bottom I got a 2, and I got 3 y's, y to the 3rd. 2x squared over 2y cubed. So that's dividing, again, that's monomial. So you got one term on the top, one term on the bottom. This time we're dividing monomials with more than one term by a monomial. So you've got a binomial or a trinomial on the top, but you've got one term on the bottom, just a monomial on the bottom. So what we're going to do here is you're going to take this x cubed plus x squared divided by x. You're going to split that up. So you're going to use the fact that that is the same as x cubed over x plus x squared over x. If you remember, like when you were adding, I don't know, 1/4 and 2/4, right? Wasn't that 3/4? In other words, 1 plus 2 all over 4. So we're just going backwards, right? 1 plus 2 all over 4, 3/4 is the same as 1/4 plus 2/4, right? So use that fact first, so split that up. The fact that this is a common denominator of both of those terms in the numerator, so x cubed over x squared over x. Well, I got 3 x's on the top, 3 x's on the top, 1 on the bottom. I'm left with 2 on the top. Here I've got 2 x's on the top, 1 on the bottom. I'm just left with 1 on top. So this just ends up being x squared plus x. Number 2, again, split that up. Use the fact that that bottom is a common denominator of each of those terms. And we've got x squared over x leaves us with an x here. 4 divided by 2 leaves us with a 2, so it looks like this ends as 2x over y. 2's cancel right here, x's cancel. I got 3 y's there, leaves me with 2 y's on the top. So minus y squared. And then here it looks like my x's cancel, so I'm just left with a 1 over 2y. Okay. And then that third one here, we've got x cubed over negative x. We got an x squared over negative x. We got a minus 1 over negative x. First of all, you see the negative on the bottom there. You know, you don't usually write it as 1 over negative 3. You go ahead and you just take that up. So negative 1/3 is how you want to write that. So I'm going to take that up. That negative goes up, right? And then I'm going to think about the x cubed over x. So I'm left with x squared there. So negative x squared on the top. Again, take that up. All right, I got a positive over negative is a negative here. But I got x squared over x. That leaves me with an x on top. And then a negative, take that up. Negative times that negative. So that'll turn that into a positive. And I've just got a 1 over x at the end there. So negative x squared minus x plus 1 over x. Okay, so when you have a monomial on the bottom but more than one term on the top, again, split that up. Use the fact that that's a common denominator. Oops. All right, now long division. Long division. Let's see if we can't remember, first of all, how we did long division with numerical long division with numbers here. So let's look at that, 3475 divided by 3. So the first thing we did is we said, well, 3 goes into 3 how many times? Once, and then we multiplied it. 1 times 3 is 3, and we then subtracted it. 3 minus 3 is 0, but we would bring the 4 down. And then we go 3 goes into 4 one time. We're trying to match that 4. And then as close as we can, right? 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract it. 4 minus 3, 1. Bring the 7 down. 3 goes into 17, 5. Again, trying to match that 17. 5 times 3, 15. Subtract it 2. Bring down the 5. 3 goes into 25, 8. 8 times 25, 24. Subtract it 1. There's our remainder. So we would write this as 1158 plus remainder over divisor, but we just wrote that as a mixed number, 1158 and 1/3. Okay. Well, it's a very similar process when you're doing it with polynomials. So the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at that 6x to the 4th. We're going to try and match that. And we're going to think to ourselves, well, what times 2x gives us 6x to the 4th? And we say, well, let's see, what 2x times what gives you 6x to the 4th? Another way you could think about that, since that's the what, right? We're trying to figure out the what to put that on top. You could also go the other way around. You go 6x to the 4th divided by 2x, and it gives you 3x to the 3rd. It tells you what you need. So, and put it right above the other degree. So I'm going to put it right above the term with the third degree, and then we're going to multiply it through. 3x to the third times 2x, 6x to the fourth. 3x to the third times 7, positive 21x to the third. And then just like with the numerical long division, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract this whole term. Well, if you subtract the whole term, that means each of these are changing their signs. So 6x to the fourth minus 6x to the fourth gone. 15x cubed minus 21x cubed is negative 6x cubed. And I bring down the next term, negative 25x squared. And now I'm matching the negative 6x cubed right there. So I'm saying what times 2x gives me negative 6x cubed? Well, that would be negative 3x squared. And I multiply that negative 3x squared through. Negative 3x squared times 2x is negative 6x cubed. Negative 3x squared times 7, negative 21x squared. Don't forget to change those signs because I'm subtracting those terms. So it's going to change those signs, both of those. Negative 6x cubed plus 6x cubed, that's gone. Negative 25x squared plus 21x squared, negative 4x squared. And then I bring down the negative 22x. Now matching the negative 4x squared. So what times 2x, right? What times 2x gives me negative 4x squared? And I write it right there. Negative 2x does. So negative 2x times 2x is negative 4x squared. Negative 2x times positive 7, negative 14x. Don't forget you got to change those signs. That's gone. Negative 22x plus 14x is 8x. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put this to the side here. That's 8x. And then I bring down the plus 21. In fact, let me write it right here. Now I'm matching the 8x, right? That's the term. I'm going to match that 8x. So what times? So what, again, times 2x gives me the 8x? Well, 4 does. So put the 4 right there. 4 times 2x, 8x. 4 times 7, 28. Don't forget to change those signs because you're subtracting that entire binomial. That's gone. 21 minus 28 is a negative 7. That's our remainder right there. So now, how do we write this answer? We write it as quotient. 3x cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 4 plus remainder over divisor. And you can write that as just a minus 7 over 2x plus 7 as well. Okay. Alright, let's do some more like that. So we're going to divide 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 divided by 2x minus 1. So we're going to match in the 2x squared. So what times this 2x gives me 2x squared? Well, it's just an x. X. So now I multiply. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative 1, right next to it there is negative x. Don't forget to change those signs. That'll be gone. 2x squared minus 2x squared gone. 5x plus a 1x is 6x. Bring that down, minus 3. Now I gotta match this 6x right here. So what times 2x gives you 6x? Well, that would be a positive 3. 3 times 2x gives you 6x. And then 3 times the negative 1 right there is a negative 3. Don't forget to change those signs. No remainder here. This is our answer, just x plus 3. Next one here we've got x cubed plus 3x squared. I'm going to run out of room here. Let me get rid of all this here. Okay, we've got x cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x minus 12, and this is divided by x plus 2. Okay, now matching the x cubed. I'm looking at the x cubed. What times x? What times this x gives you x cubed? And you say, well, that's x squared. Multiply it through. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 2, 2x squared. Don't forget you got to subtract that, so you change both of those signs. 3x squared minus 2x squared is a 1x squared. bring down the minus 4x. Now I got to match that term, x squared. So what times x gives you x squared? Positive x does. X times x, x squared. X times 2, 2x. Don't forget to change those signs. Negative 4x minus 2x, negative 6x. Bring down the minus 12. Now matching the negative 6x. What times x gives you negative 6x? Well, negative 6 does. Multiply through, negative 6 times x, negative 6x. Negative 6 times 2, negative 12. Don't forget you got to change those signs. That's gone. Hey, what do you know? No remainder again. There's our quotient. There's our answer. X squared plus x minus 6. Okay. Do another one here. Just got to get some more room on these. Alright, next one I got 4y cubed. I've got 6y squared. Now notice there's no, it doesn't go down perfectly by degree. There's no something y. So I'm actually going to put a placeholder in. I'm going to put in a 0. That's a 0y. 0y, of course, is still 0. Then I'm going to put in the plus 1. And I'm going to divide that by 2y minus 1. So if you need a placeholder, put it in. Put in a 0. And then the variable to whatever term it is, what degree it is. Alright, matching the 4y cubed. So what times 2y gives you 4y cubed? So that'd be 2y squared. So 2y squared times 2y is 4y cubed. 2y squared times negative 1, negative 2y squared. Again, don't forget to change those signs. Bring down the 0y. Now I'm matching the 8y squared. So 4y times 2y is 8y squared. 4y times negative 1, negative 4y. Don't forget to change those signs. Now I'm matching the 4y. So 2 times 2y is 4y. 2 times 1 is negative 2. Don't forget to change those signs. Looks like we have a remainder of 3. So the answer is quotient. 2y squared plus 4y plus 2 plus a remainder over that divisor, 2y minus 1. Okay. Alright, one more. Erase this. I got some room again here. Alright, we got c to the 4th. There's no c cubed, so I'm going to put in a 0c cubed. I got a 2c squared. I got a minus c. I got a plus 2. This is all being divided by c squared. Now I got my divisor here has got 3 terms. So watch real closely here. We got c squared minus c plus 1. Alright, we're matching the c to the 4th. So we know that c squared times c squared will give us c to the 4th. Notice I put it over the same degree there. I put it over the 2c squared. It just helps me line it up so I know when I'm done here. C squared times c squared, c to the 4th. C squared times negative c is a negative c cubed. C squared times 1 is a 1c squared. Don't forget to change those signs. Gone. 0c cubed plus a 1c cubed is a c cubed. 2c squared minus c squared is a 1c squared. And then bring down the minus c. Now matching the c cubed, so I know it's got to be a c. C times c squared, c cubed. C times the negative c squared. C times 1, positive c. Don't forget to change those signs. C squared plus c squared, 2c squared. Negative c minus c is a negative 2c, and then bring down the plus 2. Now I'm matching 2c squared, so I know that 2 times c squared is 2c squared. 2 times the negative c is negative 2c. 2 times that positive 1 in the divisor is 2. Don't forget to change those signs. Gone, gone. What do you know? 2 minus 2 is also gone, so there's no remainder on this. There's your quotient solution, c squared plus c plus 2. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.